Functions represent the power of programming languages. They're a device to facilitate standardized processing, things we do over and over again so we don't have to redo the code each time. In PHP, the syntax is quite simple. The keyword function, followed by the name of the function, followed by the code to be executed in braces. The parenthesis after the function name is where the parameters of the function go. They're not essential, but it's parameters that hugely magnify the power of functions. And this power is even further magnified by the ability of a function to return a value. For example, the function full coname, short for full company name, accepts 4 parameters: company ID, a prename, a company name, and a registration type. And the function says if the company ID is empty, set some temporary variable to the value unallocated. Otherwise, set the temporary variable to the trimmed value of the concatenated values of the prename space company name space registration type. So I think you can probably see what this function does. Indeed, we've actually used this piece of processing in many of our scripts, so it seems appropriate to create a function to calculate this common concatenation of strings, which we're using all the time in our project. So if we open the snippet, examplets functions full company name or full coname, we can see exactly what it looks like. Let's close that and put it into the script that we did before, our nest demo script from the demo folder. Open the file and go back to snippets, and just before the final PHP tag, insert the full company name function. Now, functions can go pretty much anywhere inside your PHP code. Some programmers like to put them right up the top of their scripts, and others like to put them down the bottom. Now, where we previously used the variable name, company full name, insert the script full coname usage, indent it appropriately, so that full company name is now set to the function value, company ID, comma, company prename, comma, company name, comma, company registration type, rather than the actual text. So we can get rid of that, knowing that company full name will be calculated according to the function rather than directly in the script. We can also get rid of company full name is set to unallocated if the company ID is 0. Delete that and save the file. Let's go to our demo folder and find nest demo and run it. And we get exactly the same result as we did before, except company full name right now is being calculated by the function co-full name rather than by a piece of code in the script. Of course, once we create a function, it often forms a basis for other similar functions. For example, in the file company list order style, paste the same function. Of course, this is not exactly what we wanted in this script, because the company name we use does not include the prename for sorting purposes. So we'll modify this as follows. Change the name of the function to short coname. We don't need the company ID or the prename in this new function. And in fact, all we really need is the trimmed concatenation of company name and reg type, because we don't need to assign an unallocated. But we simply set the variable temp equal to the trimmed value of company name and reg type, or the trimmed value of the first parameter space second parameter, more correctly, and return the value of temp. Now, as it happens, this particular script can also make use of a company address function, where company address takes 3 parameters. It sets the variable temp to the first parameter. Then if the second parameter is not empty, it concatenates the second parameter onto temp, followed by a comma. If the third parameter is not empty, it concatenates, comma, third parameter onto temp, and then returns temp. So this looks very much like company address. So first of all, finding company full name and changing it to short company name, of course using only the 2 parameters, company name and, in this case, reg type, indenting to the correct level and getting rid of the old company full name. And then for street address, pasting the parameter co-address usage and indenting to the correct level. We can now get rid of those 3 lines of code which establish the value of company address and instead use the new function that we've created. Now this new script, company list order style, now does exactly the same thing as company list order, which you may remember is the one referenced from our home page. List companies referenced company list order. So if we take this new script and instead of saving it as company list order style, we now save it as company list order, remembering to change its name both in the documentation as well as the script name, which is important because it references itself. It's really just an upgrade that uses an external style sheet instead of the old inline styles, and it uses some functions. So now if we save this, save as company list order.php and overwrite the file. When we refresh our home page, list companies references our new styled and function using script.